Hello and welcome to Sociology 312's video of using the McGovern Library resources. Before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Alexis Becker and I am the director of the McGovern Library. You can contact me via email at alexis.becker@dwu.edu or by dropping by my office in the McGovern Library, Office 113. In today's video, we'll be going over a number of things. This video will be timestamped, so you can jump ahead, go back, pause, and rewatch. First, what we will be going over is a library overview. We'll go over the Sociology 312 guide, as well as the A to Z database list. Next, we'll be talking about topic development, which includes selecting and narrowing a topic, developing keywords, and more. For this, we will be working through a worksheet that I will have available for you guys to follow along as well. Finally, we will also be looking at searching through the library's databases. I'll show you how to use limiters and filters, how to locate and evaluate some good sources, as well as how to pull citations in the APA citation style. Let's first start by going over to the McGovern Library's website at www.library.dwu.edu. Let's start at the library's homepage here. Before we jump in, there are a few things that I would like to refresh you on. First, to access the library's databases, you can click on the Database List button to be directed into the library's database. For library guides, you can click on Library Guides. These will include subject guides as well as course guides and others. If you're working off campus, please visit the Off-Campus Access button, which will redirect you to the Off-Campus Access Guide. This will show you how to log in through the library's proxy servers. And finally, how-to videos. The library has created several how-to videos, several of which are linked onto your courses guide. Let's now go into our courses guide. So going up to Library Guides, we'll click on this button to be redirected. Next, we want to go to the second tab, which is Course Guides. Scroll down to find your class. Sociology 312, Methods of Social Research. Before we dive into other resources, I want to give you a quick overview and tour of this guide. The homepage and landing page just gives you multiple options, quick links to the database, catalog, library guides, and more. And at the very bottom, you can tab over to the next tab. Also at the top, all of the tabs can be clicked on to navigate throughout the guide. The first tab we will look into is our topic development. Attached here in the guide is the topic development blank handout, developed specifically for your class. When we get to this portion of the video, I will be walking you through step by step and instructing you when to pause and to do research on your own. As well as the guide, I also have listed out the examples walking you through step by step. You can follow along both quickly here on the guide or more in depth within the handout. Our next tab is peer review. On this page, I have a short video of what is peer review created by another library, as well as a breakdown of what peer review is, why we use it, and how to find them. The next tab we have is researching in the library. Here we also have off-campus access information showing you how to log in using your credentials. If you need to search the library's catalog, you can do so here. Also, our additional research tools and quick guides to help you navigate through if you have any questions as you go through the research process. Here is also where I have some of our databases linked. Each of these databases you can click on, which will open and redirect you into the database. The database I recommend you starting in is PsycInfo. Here you will be able to find a comprehensive database full of psychology and sociology information and publications. There are two additional databases that might be good for you to look through and to get some information in. This is going to be both PsycArchive and SOCarchive. These two databases are open online archives that collect various publications that are usually non-peer-reviewed but academic articles. These also include working papers, unpublished works, and articles that are under review, which are also known as preprints. This is a great place to look to see what is happening right now in research within sociology as well as psychology. At the very bottom of this middle column is going to be a quick link into the full database list. Our next tab is going to be APA citations. Here is the quick overview of all of our citations in the APA style. In this bottom box, please navigate through the different tabs to learn about the basics, what in-text citations look like, as well as the basic form for the various different formattings. The final tab here is the how-to videos. Here I have pulled out a handful of videos for you guys to look through to give additional information about library resources as well as how to navigate different resources. Now let's go back to the library's homepage and look at the A to Z database list. Scrolling down, we'll look now at the database list. To make your life a little bit easier, I recommend limiting the subject where you will be searching within to help limit the list of the databases. Clicking down on the All Subjects drop-down box, we will scroll down to Psychology. The database that we will be using and researching within is PsycInfo. Again, I also have this linked on your class guide for you guys to look through and access. Topic development. This is one of the first steps that is going to be taken when you begin conducting research. A few things to note about topic development and why it is so important. So first, you want to work with a topic that interests you. Think of things that pique your interest, that you want to learn more about, and that just generally interest you. If you're interested in the topic, you're going to be interested in the research. Topic development is also going to help you narrow and focus your topic to a manageable size. Topic development is also going to help you be able to write a workable research question to focus your research on. As we move forward in this video, we will be working through a worksheet that'll help you work your way through both topic development and creating research questions. If you have a good research question, it is far easier to search the different databases and other resources, as well as to write up and create your research. Finally, topic development, and as we move forward, we'll be helping you create a keyword list to base your searches off of. Next, let's look at and work through our handout for topic development and keywords. I have provided your professor with a Word document that you guys can follow along with, and I will tell you when to pause the video and to conduct your own research as we go through. For this, we will be using the internet, so Google, DuckDuckGo, or other search engines. We will also be going into the different databases, creating keywords, writing research questions, and more. Go back to the library's Sociology 312 guide and to the Topic Development tab. Scrolling down, click on the Topic Development blank handout. Here you can see we have opened up a Word document that you can edit and follow along with. I will walk you through each of the steps of topic development as well as creating keywords. Our first step is always going to be thinking of a very broad topic. Usually when you start, the broader the better. So for my example, we're going to start with mental health. With this topic, I know that I can go multiple different directions and think of different things that might interest me. When thinking about and looking at your broad topic, you want something that you can go multiple different directions in, but again, something that you're interested in. For step 2, I want you to use your topic and think of a question that you can answer if you were to conduct a quick Google search. For this, all I want is for you to start brainstorming and thinking about where you could or might be able to go. So my example I will be looking at is mental health with a connection to suicide. A question I might look at is, what is the connection between mental health and suicide? It is simple, it is straightforward, and I might even be able to find the answer in a quick Google search. Take a moment to pause the video here before going on to step 3. Using your broad topic from above, think of a question that you could answer. Now that I have my question, we'll go to step 3. Starting off in Google, I'll begin with a quick search on mental health. Here as I scroll down, again, what I'm looking for is different areas and directions that I could bring my search into. A great place to start this is going to the Wikipedia page about your topic. Wikipedia has a lot of great uses if you know how to use it correctly. One thing that is really nice about Wikipedia is the table of contents. Here we can break down a larger topic into smaller subtopics. Scrolling through, a great way to find different branching topics is to find something that you're interested in, click and learn a little bit more about it. So let's look at cultural factors with mental health. Here I'm redirected and I can learn a little bit more about culture and further on about environmental facts before going on to the next section. Take a few moments here to pause the video and to go on to Google, Wikipedia, and other online resources to research your topic. Try to identify at least 3 branching topics or areas that you can look into to help focus that very broad topic you originally selected. After my quick Google search and looking through Wikipedia as well as other sources, I found 3 different branching topics that are of interest to me. First is suicide's connection to anxiety and depression. I'm interested in looking at what the connections are between these 2 mental health issues and suicide. Next, I have what are the risk factors associated with suicide. For this third branching topics, as I'm interested in the impact of suicide on the lives of families and friends. Now that I have my 3 branching topics, let's move down to step 4. For step 4, I want to select one of my 3 topics from above that looks interesting to me. Please note that for all of this, you aren't married to your topics. This is just a way to explore and to see where you could bring your research. Once I have selected a new branching topic, I want to write another question that I can answer. For this question, we want to look a little bit more deeper than a quick Google search or a yes or no answer. These questions might be able to be answered with an internet search, but most likely you'll need to do a little bit deeper research to find a meaningful answer. A good rule of thumb is if you can Google the answer, you need to write a more in-depth question. Remember, no yes or no answers. Pause here to write your new question. The branch topic that I have decided to go with is looking at how suicide impacts the lives of families and friends. The research question that I want to look into are what effects does suicide have on the well-being of family and friends? Specifically, I want to look at how those family and friends have been affected by the victims of suicide. In step 5, we're going to create a list of keywords and phrases that you can use when searching the library's resources. The great thing with creating a list of keywords is that you can mix and match different search terms and phrases to get different search results. For our first step, we want to rewrite our research question. We can copy and paste that from above. Now that we have our question written down, we want to either circle or highlight the keywords within our question. These will include effect, suicide, well-being, family, and friends. Pause the video here to fill in step 5A and step 5B. In step 5C, we're going to list out all of the keywords that we have either highlighted or circled and add them into the table below. Here we can see that my keywords are going to be effects, suicide, well-being, and family and friends. Here I have combined family and friends as one kind of general key phrase or key terms. For step 5D, we want to go onto Google and use an online thesaurus to compile a list of synonyms and related terms for each of our listed keywords. Pause the video here to list out your keywords, as well as finding different synonyms and related terms for each of the listed keywords. After my quick Google search, as well as using the thesaurus, I've come up with multiple different keywords and phrases that can be used for each of my main keywords. Once we've compiled our keyword list, we can always add additional words and phrases to this. As you go through your searches, You want to pull out different phrases and terms that are being used by the experts. These will change and will also help you really focus in your searches. As we go into the different databases, we'll want to be able to pull our different search terms and keywords, mix and match as we go through. Now let's go to step 6. In our previous steps, we've been using Google and basic internet searches, but now we want to go into the library's database and use the keywords that we've compiled above. As we're going through these searches, we'll want to be looking for an additional 3 branching topics. So we really do want to focus in our topic in our searches to make it something that, again, is interesting for you as well as manageable. Let's go back onto the library's website and visit the database PsycInfo. Again, we'll start on the Sociology 312 Library Guide, and now click on the Research in the Library tab. Here I can scroll down and click onto PsycInfo. This will redirect me into the library's database of PsycInfo. The database PsycInfo is an EBSCO-based database. You most likely have searched through something that looks very similar to this. One thing to note is there are a few different quirks that we'll walk through as we are searching. So let's begin our search with the effects of suicide on family and friends. In the first box, I'm going to type in suicide effects, and in the second box, I'm going to type in family and friends. Again, as you're searching through this database, make sure that you are mixing and matching all of the different keywords and phrases that you have gathered up before. Before we hit the search button, we're going to scroll down and click on a few various items. First, we want to click on the peer-reviewed box. For this, we only want to see peer-reviewed articles. Here we can also add in publication year as well as other limiters. Scroll back to the top with the peer-reviewed box selected and click Search. Here I can see that I only have 35 results. So for this, I'm going to take out friends and leave just family. I'll click Search again to redo my search. Here we have 289 results, so it's a workable number. As I scroll down, let's begin looking at our different limiters to refine our search results. By clicking Linked Full Text, it will remove any articles that you don't have full access to. It'll remove the first 2 options that we see here, but leave the third because we do have full access to the full PDF. Open Access will be indicated here with the orange Open Access lock. Open Access is available to anyone for free on the internet. Open Access may or may not be peer-reviewed, but as we have the box checked for peer review, I know that this article here is going to be open access and peer-reviewed. Another filter we can use is the publication date. Normally we want to look within the past 5 to 7 years, so you can edit as needed. Further down in our list, we can also limit by various subjects, publication, publisher, classifications, and more. Clicking here, we can see additional subjects that we can limit by. By clicking the Show More button, we can see all of the various subject matters. These are also going to be great words and phrases for you to add to your keyword list. Remember to keep that up to date as you are searching. Before moving on and looking into some of these articles, I do want to point out one of the limiters that you'll see is missing. So here in my current search, I can see that I have the peer-reviewed option marked. I can always remove it by clicking the X. But as I scroll down, I see that there is not a limited peer review box that is available to check and uncheck. This is a major difference between PsycInfo and other EBSCO-based databases. If you have begun your search but haven't clicked the peer-reviewed box, you'll need to go back up to the top, select Advanced Search, and then scroll down to select Peer Review. When you do this, your current search phrases will stay here in the boxes. You can scroll, add in any limiters you need, and then click Search. Now let's look into a journal article. To access a journal article, scroll down and click on the title. Here you see I've opened up the full record. As you can see, I can access PDF full text. Here I can read and download the entire article. I recommend downloading and saving any articles that are of interest to your device instead of saving it here in the databases. Also, as I scroll down, I can read the abstract and pull out various keywords and phrases that might be of interest to me. Scrolling further, I can see various subjects. Here are some different phrases that I might want to add into my keyword list. And as we scroll down, I can see a few other different pieces of information. Here we can see the publication type is a journal peer-reviewed. Here we can also double check to see if this is peer-reviewed by going up to the source, copying and pasting the journal title, and doing a quick Google search. If you're wondering if a journal is peer-reviewed, you can always reach out to me or the library, and I can help do some searches for you to identify if the journal you are pulling an article from is peer-reviewed or not. Another thing here I want to show you on the journal article information is the Cite button. Here we see that we have the APA 7th edition citation style. I can copy and paste this into my references, but please double check to make sure all information is correct and that nothing is looking too funky. So now back on our handout, we're again on step 6. So take a moment here to pause and begin searching the different databases. Try to identify 3 additional branching topics that you can go into. Again, you can look at your different subject terms, phrases, and information that's being used, as well as anything that is being auto-filled in as you begin typing out phrases and terms within the search boxes. So through my searches, I've identified an additional 3 branching topics that might be of interest. These include the suicide's impact on family and friends. So again, I'm still looking very similarly to my first branch topic. In branch topic number 2, I want to know what family stress comes in with connections with suicides. And finally, in branching topic number 3, I'm interested in suicide ideation in the family members. More specifically, I'm interested in seeing what happens if someone attempts or commits suicide, what happens with their family, and what suicide ideations are now seen from that. Scrolling down to step 7, which is our final step here on this handout. So once again, I want to select a branching topic that looks interesting to me. And again, I want to ask a question that I can answer. For this question, I really do want to be looking at something that I could add into a research paper or proposal. So this will fully be our research question and will not be able to be answered with a quick Google search. Full academic research will be needed to completely answer this question. Pause the video here to fill in this information. So let's look at where I've landed. So here, my branch topic that I'm interested in looking at is the suicide ideation in family members. The research question that I'm interested in searching is how does a death by suicide impact close family and friends of the deceased, specifically in terms of suicide ideation and suicide attempts from family members. So now we can scroll back to the top of the handout and see where we've started from and where we've gone. Here we can see I started with mental health. I began with a quick question. Next, I did my quick Google search in Wikipedia to see some various branching topics that might be of interest to me. Again, for this, I'm looking to see where could I go, not necessarily where I will be going. Scrolling further, I see that I've selected a branch topic and rewrote a new question. For this question, I didn't want a yes or no answer like I might have had before, but instead I want to have something that I might be able to do a quick Google search on, but most likely will need to do a little bit more in-depth research. Scrolling further to step 5, here is where we created our list of keywords and phrases. We wrote out our research question. We identified our keywords and then identified and compiled the list of synonyms and related terms. Here we could go broader or narrower and even go off on different directions. This we can see in the family and friends where we're looking specifically at spouses or partners. Now moving on to step 6. Here we again branched off our different topics. And into step 7, which we rewrote a new research question based off of a different area that we wanted to look at with that branch topic. So as we can see, I started with the topic of mental health. I've now narrowed this down and focused in looking at suicide ideation within family members. You can always access this form through the library's guide for Sociology 312 under the Topic Development tab. Again, this is an editable Word document that you can click, download, and save to your device. So within this video, we have highlighted first the library overview. We looked at the Sociology 312 guide, as well as the A to Z database list, and identified which databases to look in. Next, we looked at the topic development handout. We identified being able to select and narrow a topic, as well as developing a list of keywords. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I will add in timestamps, so you'll be able to pause, jump forward and backwards throughout this video as you work through the steps with me. And finally, we went into the database PsycInfo and did a little bit of database searching. We used limiters and filters, we located various sources, and we pulled citations. Now, if you have any questions or need additional information on anything highlighted here in this video, please reach out to me or the library. My information again is alexis.becker@dwu.edu. You can also drop by my office in the McGovern Library, office number 113.